Texas League Baseball is next. And we'd like to welcome you to Texas League Baseball here in South Texas. And now here's the one and only John Baker to bring us our live Friday broadcast. Yeah, you wished it was Saturday, Bob. Well, happy Friday night, everybody. We welcome y'all to Texas League Baseball as we get set for the fourth game of our six-game set between the visiting Midland Rockhounds and your Flying Chanclas de San Antonio. Well, I've got to say, we have made up our decision. We are going to stay for Friday night Flying Chanclas night here as we have $2 Dr. Pepper night. And so far, catch the chanclas and $2 Dr. Peppers all night long. Series continues tomorrow night, 7:05, our first pitch. Don't forget our post-game fireworks as we celebrate Christmas Day with your San Antonio Missions. And so far, we are celebrating Christmas with the Rockhounds and your San Antonio Missions. Series concludes Sunday evening at 6:05, but we are going to move that up to a 7:05 start. And so far, gates open at 6 o'clock that evening. So make sure y'all come on by and have a good night on us as we get ready to go. San Antonio will head to Frisco after this homestand, take on the Frisco Rough Riders there at Statesman's Park. And then we are back to take on another great homestand as we get ready for a six-game set, versing off the visiting Springfield Cardinals. And then it is off to Tulsa right after that. Missions are back home to take on a final six-game set at home against the Amarillo Sod Poodles. And then we're headed back on the road for the final six times against the Frisco Rough Riders there at Statesman's Park. And then we're back home for the final six-game homestand of 2025, versing off the Corpus Christi Hooks. And then we wrap up the 2025 regular season there in Springfield, Missouri. Go online now, samissions.com, purchase and print your tickets from home. Also, watch us here on YouTube Live and Bally Live, as you can find your minor league teams there. Whatever league you're in, it don't matter what, just find your favorite and watch as the evening goes on. 2026 baseball schedules should be available by next week. And so far, we're going to see who San Antonio takes on next year as we have another great baseball season. Well, anyway, joined in the booth by my partner, Bob. Good evening, Bob. Good evening, John, and how are you? I'm doing good. Well, what a win for San Antonio last night. And gotta say, the final score, 13-6, as San Antonio claims their 54th, I do believe. But anyway, it was a phenomenal evening as we look at San Antonio winning their next ball game, and now they're in a three-game winning streak. And, well, so far, I'm looking at the Texas League level, and it is win number 55. So San Antonio, 55-37. Midland is still a little ways behind Frisco, trying to get in there as well. They're in a foot race against the Rockhounds. If Wichita beats Frisco tonight, then the Wichita Wind Surge will only trail the Springfield Cardinals just 10.5 games back. Arkansas 11.5, 13.5 against Northwest Arkansas, and Tulsa about a boatload, twice a bunch in that one. But anyway, got to say, San Antonio, Midland, Springfield, and Wichita are in the final four positions as we all look at it. And so far, going to be a pretty exciting year for San Antonio and for a lot of these minor league teams here in the South and North Division. But anyway, we have about 4 more homestands left of this current season. We have our remaining 3 against Midland, and so far we have 6 with Springfield. And then we are back home taking on Amarillo and Corpus Christi as well. So pretty much at least 4 homestands still remain. But after Sunday's game, we're down to only 3 of the current year. Well, anyway, Bob, what was your reaction of last night? And tell us what you saw in that ball game for a Thursday evening. Well, I got to say, John, a lot of hard hit balls, and got to say, pretty good on that. Midland tried to get back in there, but evidently they couldn't catch up with San Antonio on that. But evidently they tried to get in, and they pretty much didn't get in there. But anyway, we're still updating you about our injured catcher, Ethan Salas. He has pretty much been on the injured list and might not come back until the end of August or even into September. But we are going to see on top of that on how everything goes for him. But anyway, Salas is not going to be on the roster at least until everything gets going for him. But anyway, thoughts and prayers to his family in these hard times. And so far, it's pretty hard, as we had a Midland Rockhounds starting pitcher for yesterday for a Thursday evening, and that guy just wasn't focusing on trying to hit the strike zone. And so far, it was pretty rough around the edges when we all look at it. Well, I got to say, Bob, absolutely right. And so far, Ethan Salas was pretty much injured after that ball had hit him right in the shoulder blade. And, you know, they did take pictures and they showed it to us. Yeah, he's got bruising on his arm now. Luckily, he didn't get plunked in the face, but it was a few inches from the face. But evidently, he is going to be out for quite some time. And they did x-rays on him. And so far, they are asking him to sit this one out and wait for it to heal up. But yeah, he does have a broken arm. So they will do surgery on it. And so far, yeah, that's going to be pretty good right there. Yeah, I got to say, John, our best of luck to him. But right now, I mean, he's got to heal up before he returns back to being the San Antonio catcher. And evidently, it's a big accomplishment. He's went through a few months without no injury. And so far, kind of sad what happened yesterday, July 24th, 2025. And so far, he's going to be out. Yep, that's for sure. But anyway, we do have another death that has just went on yesterday. If everybody know who Hulk Hogan was, he had passed away from his life at the age of 71. Y'all may have noticed him from walking. And yeah, so far he passed away, 71 years old. Knew the President of the United States, like Donald J. Trump, and so far he was a courageous fighter. He did a lot through his life. He was in the ring a lot of times. He was pretty much a heavyweight champion, as we all know. But in our eyes, he has been that heavyweight champion. He has carried the torch to the very end. And so far, our thoughts and prayers to his family as they go through a tragic time for the loss of Hulk Hogan. And so far, we just keep the family in prayers through the difficult time. But anyway, we're fixing to get started for our broadcast, and so far, we are set to go. on this Friday night. We got weekend baseball straight ahead. And so far, hope you guys are super excited because we got this one coming at you. Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by our friends there at West Creek Trail Rides. Don't forget that every Tuesday through Sunday, go out, come out and visit us. Come book a reservation online. We are 1 hour trail guided rides, and I gotta say, it is the best. You know, you get out there and you have the best time of your life, and so far, you're just gonna have so much fun. You want to come back for more. But I've been riding horses since I was 8 years old, and yeah, I could tell you a little bit of a story about that. You know, my mom and dad, we had this neighbor named Ronnie, and so far he was a great neighbor. You guys would have enjoyed this guy. He was nice and sweet. Well, one evening he saddled up a few of his horses, and we went out on a ride, and it was a pretty good ride. We've really enjoyed that. But anyway, got to ride with my dad. My brother got to ride with mom and stuff. And so far, it was pretty good. But anyway, back in 2004, Ronnie had passed away from a heart attack. And his ranch was foreclosed. And it was sold. And so anyway, as we all look at it now, the ranch is completely gone. It's now a trailer park, by the way. And so far, yeah, he died of a heart attack in 2004. And then my mom and dad, back in 2004, was immediately divorcing each other. And evidently, we had to go through a legal system. And so far, my mom and dad, they knew who was going to get the kids. Evidently, my dad did. And so far, that was the last time I've actually seen my mom. And my mom left, and she couldn't even get a job. She couldn't even do anything because, well, she was spoiled. I mean, she's been spoiled for 28 years that my dad was actually married to her. And so anyway, you know, true story as that. But anyway, yeah, she lost everything, and the bank came and took her house away. And anyway, after that, she somehow got to Abilene, and they impounded her car. They took everything she had away because she didn't have no bills. You know, she couldn't pay bills or anything. She couldn't pay the house because the house was pretty much still under payment. And so far, my dad took us and he adopted us, and pretty much mom, she couldn't do that. But anyway, then after that, we found out in 2022, my mom had died, and she had passed away at the age of 63. And so far, she died in the month of March, which a few of my family members have died in the month of March, and it's kind of upsetting. But anyway, we're going to get down to our live broadcast tonight as we bring you this one here. And yeah, so far enough of sad stories, because evidently everything that I said was absolutely true. And so anyway, we're bringing you this one. The Flying Chancla is returning for a second time. And evidently we are just about set for baseball here tonight. We're getting a late start, 8:18 this evening. But evidently we are getting going for our broadcast here tonight. And leading off for Midland, shortstop is Arabelle Angeles. As we are about ready to go. Here is the windup, and the pitch is right there in the end for a strike, and we are underway.
It's 0-1.
right at 8:18 p.m. and
First pitch, 7 o'clock.
so far we are just a little bit late tonight, but we are going to get right after it. High in the air up to right field. Campbell will make the play, and that is out number one.
Batting second, the second baseman, Colby.
Well, the second baseman is Colby Halter as he strides up next for Midland. The windup and the pitch. That is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Well, go ahead and give your ball clubs tonight. Midland at San Antonio. Frisco at Wichita. Springfield at Tulsa. Amarillo at Corpus Christi. And Northwest Arkansas at Arkansas. And that's going to be right there. Line drive. That's a base hit. And left fielder Fabian cannot get there. Boy, what a double that is by the second baseman, Colby Halter. And so far, a pretty good one thus far. As now the first run for Midland just in scoring position. And so far, a pretty good one. Nate Nankiel, the right fielder, comes in as he'll take an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Boy, it looks pretty good in Wichita. I think they got a big wall cloud, sun shining on it. Few times we have seen in Wichita, Kansas, that we've actually seen a wall cloud with the sunset on it. Well, that was a pass ball that will put the runner just 90 feet away from scoring in. Great crowd we have here tonight here in San Antonio, Texas. And here's the 1-1. Right there, high fly in the air. That'd be enough for a sacrifice fly. Center fielder Mears catches that one, and here comes the runner. Is in to score, and that is a 1-0 lead for Midland. And that'll bring in the four-hole hitter, Nick Kurtz. Kurtz coming in, ready to go here tonight. The windup and the pitch. That is an inside strike. The count now 0-1. So a sac fly for Midland as they bring in a run in to score. And so far, pretty good. Here's the pitch. That one is out of play. The count now 0-2. Well, evidently give you scores. Top of the fourth inning there in Corpus Christi. Amarillo leading 4-2 against the Hooks. Wichita leading the Frisco Rough Riders 1-0. Northwest Arkansas and Arkansas tied at 1-1. Well, that'll pretty much do it. The side's retired, so one run in to score on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. Bottom of the first inning coming up. Midland leads at 1-0. San Antonio coming to bat right after this. Well, for your San Antonio Missions, we lead off the bottom of the first inning, and here we go. Here is John Baker. Well, for your oh boy, thank you, Bob, and welcome in back to our broadcast. Ryan Cusick coming in for Midland tonight, four-seam curveball slider and a changeup. And we're set to go here for the bottom of the first inning for the San Antonio Missions. Or should I say Flying Chunkless. They're in their uniforms tonight.
The left fielder,
At least for one more time here in this homestand. Here's the left fielder, Albert Fabian, as he comes in. On the on-deck circle is the catcher, Francisco Acuna. Acuna will be playing the catcher position tonight to fill in for the injured Ethan Salas. No balls, one strike. Wind up and the pitch. That one is a high fly. Out to short, and they got it. And that's an easy play made for one away.
Batting second, the catcher, number 58.
The catcher coming in, that is Francisco Acuna. Acuna, ready to go. Ready to go. Usually he's playing the first or second base area, but evidently being in reserve on those two positions. No balls, one strike, one away, nobody on for San Antonio. Missions back to their normal home white uniforms as we celebrate Christmas Day. They're like a Snow White uniform. Why not? That's why Bravo Plus Laundry Detergent. Getting our home whites nice and clean. So far, pretty good on that.
2-2. Count is full.
And that's the count full at 3-2. Joshua Mears on deck. And that's going to be lined straight away up to right field, and that will get down for a base hit.
Batting third, the center fielder, Joshua Mears.
That'll bring in center fielder Joshua Mears as he comes in. Swings and misses after that one. The count now at 0-1. Pretty good night thus far. If San Antonio can win 4 in a row. Evidently Midland losing the last 3 of this series, and that is outside. The count now 1-1.
1-1.
But thus far, Midland last night, or should I say, was it Wednesday night? Yeah, it was Wednesday. Well, they came in close to winning that one. It was a Rockhounds up by a run. San Antonio trailing that one. It was 1-2, and then out of nowhere, San Antonio came in bottom of the 9th inning and got a base runner on, and then another base runner, and then pretty much they evidently knocked in the 2 up to a center field base hit after that, which was pretty impressive. I really like that for a Wednesday night. Yeah, I got to say, John, absolutely right. It was a pretty good one. Man, it sure was. Right there, swing and a miss. The count now at 1-1. A lot of clouds tonight, right, Bob? Yeah, I got to say, it will be a cloudy night tonight as we get going. And evidently, it will be a cloudy Saturday morning as probably might be out going to the ranch to West Creek trail rides. And so far, catching our game tomorrow evening at 7:05. And don't forget, we celebrate Christmas tomorrow, so happy Christmas Eve here tonight. Yeah. Well, evidently pretty good, and that is ball 4, and Marcos Castañon gets on.
Batting fifth, the right fielder.
Well, the tying run now at second base. Here is right fielder Jacob Campbell as he gets ready to come on in. That one is outside. A great hold up, 1 ball and no strikes. A lot of kids still coming to the ballpark on the weekend, and yes, there's a lot getting ready to go back to school next month. That one fouled off. The count now 1-1. One ball, one strike. The windup and the pitch. And that is going to be lofted deep. That is right to the wall. Boy, a few more inches, it would have been a 3-run shot. Then that will conclude the inning. No runs, 2 hits. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 2 left. And we head to the second inning. And Midland leads this one by 1-0. Trinkle, Schwartz, and Bolt will lead it off for the second inning for Midland when we come back. Now set to go for the top of the second inning for Midland right now, the Rockhounds and San Antonio Missions Baseball Networks. Thank you, Bob. Caden Trinkle coming in, 5'6", due up against Austin Kropp. And the pitch is outside. The count now 1 ball and no strikes. Game 5 tomorrow evening, 7:05, first pitch. And the windup. That one is high flying in the air up to right center. Moving under it is Jacob Campbell as he'll make the play for out number 1.
Batting 6, the designated hitter, Nick Schwartz.
The designated hitter is Nick Schwartz. Schwartz coming in, ready to go, and the pitch. That one high flying in the air, and that one is not playable, as it will drift out of play. No balls, 1 strike. And that is in for a strike. The count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch right there and out of play. And the count now at 0-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. And that'll pretty much get something going right there. That'll bring up Henry Bolt. as he takes a strike inside. The count now at 0-1. Well, so far, pretty good night thus far on a Friday evening. Top of 2 in this one. Swing and a miss. The count now 0-2.
Balls, 2 strikes.
So yes, we apologize for our late tardiness in our broadcast tonight. Evidently had to go out and do some errands. Trying to get this one going. 0-2. And that is right there. Can they get him? No. So that is a pass ball and a strikeout and a wild pitch. That'll bring up the next batter up, Drew Swift. Swift coming in, ready to go. Hits that one. And there is no play. That will be an infield single. So 2-1, 2 out here in this half inning. That'll bring in Willie McIver. Ivor steps in, takes an inside strike. The count now at 0-1 to the 9-hole batter. Do believe this guy is the catcher tonight. Evidently, I think he is. And that is right there. And, they throw it away. Well, what the heck is that all about? Well, now 3 runs come in to score, and now that's going to be an error. Boy, San Antonio is really starting to let this ball get out of line. So, yeah, that should be an error. 3 runs on an error. And that is going to be out of play. The count now 0-2. Think that would be 2 costly errors. And a pitch right there. And yes, San Antonio. Oh, no. That's not good at all. Now that's the 3rd error.
The batter, number 9.
And Castagnon gets slapped with an error. So that will pretty much haunt you if you keep doing that. Get a little overzealous right there, and that's going to get down. And that is pretty much up to second. The wild pitch. Well, San Antonio, 3 costly errors after the last 2 plays.
2-0 to count. And
that's going to be right there. Can they? Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. What is going on? It is a circus out here. Fastball, and now another couple errors in for San Antonio. Now, I really think that, I know tonight Francisco Acuna is down behind the plate. And, they need to stop what they're doing and focus on what they should be doing. That one is high fly in the air. And that is caught for the out. Finally, that will retire the side. Well, 3 runs, a few hits, 4 errors, and they leave a couple on. Bottom half of the 2nd inning coming up. San Antonio coming to bat right after this. Cole Roederer, Rojas, and Cedeno come back in this one as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Bottom half of the second inning set to go for San Antonio right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, that'll bring in the designated hitter, Cole Roederer, as he stands in. Is ready to go. The windup and the pitch. That is an inside strike. And the count now at 0-1. The pitch, swing and a miss. Boy, that is chasing them right there. And the count now 0-2. Well, join us for a brand new series coming up Fridays this September. You'll have a release date on Picani's new series. And that is Friday night with 2 back-to-back series premiere episodes coming Friday, September 26th at 6:30 right here to the channel. Also, October is the new season of horseback riding adventures. And also, that will be the month of Pumpkin Patch as well. Right there, and now to play, and there is out number 2. That'll bring in Nerwillian Cedeno as he comes in. Great Friday evening for all of us here tonight as 4th of this 6-game set. Final 3 times of the year that we meet up against Midland. Head to Frisco after this ball game, or should I say Sunday's ball game. You wished it was a Sunday. Yeah, probably you're right, Bob. Well, no runs hit to errors, nobody left on for San Antonio. 3rd inning coming up, and the Rockhounds lead 4-0. Colby Halter and Nate Nankill and Kurtz will come in as we get set to go for the top of the 3rd inning for the Rockhounds. We're back here after this. Top of the 3rd inning for Midland right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Happy Friday evening. Welcome back to our broadcast as we start the 3rd inning for the Rockhounds. Midland up 4-0 against San Antonio, and 4 errors tonight for the Flying Chonkless. Not a pretty good thing when you do see something like that, but evidently we have seen a lot of misplays. And so far that is outside. The count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. And that's going to be right there. to DeVries, right to first base to Castagnon, and that is out number 1.
Number 19, Nate Nanfield.
Nate Nankiel, the right fielder, comes in. He sacrificed fly in the first inning. Well, let's give our scores. Springfield and Tulsa scoreless through the bottom half of the 7th inning. Wichita 3-0 against the Frisco Rough Riders. Amarillo Sod Poodles against Corpus Christi Hooks. Amarillo leading 4-3 in that ball game, and that's a pitch clock violation, and it's 1-0 the count. Northwest Arkansas leading the Arkansas Travelers. That is a 2-1 ball game there at All-American Ballpark in North Little Rock, Arkansas. So right there, the count now 1-1. Well, hopefully 2026 will be a pretty good schedule. Tulsa and Arkansas will come to our home ballpark. And most likely, I sure hope that we get to play all the divisions here in San Antonio, Texas. That would be pretty nice. Yeah, I got to say, John, it would absolutely be a good thing. Man, it sure would be. Well, out number 2, as that will do.
Nick Kurtz.
Here is Nick Kurtz as he comes in. 4-0 Midland here in the 3rd inning. 2 outs, nobody on, and that's an inside strike. And the count now at 0-1. Well, if you want to play a new game and also on your smart devices, such as your iPhone or Android, download Atlas Earth. You can buy land and get money for it, which that is pretty good. Atlas Earth, right in the Google Play or even the App Store. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. And that ends the inning. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for Midland. Now head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and it's 4-0 Rockhounds. In this ball game, shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries, friend Albert Fabian, and Francisco Acuna will start up the bottom of 3 when we come back. Bottom half of the third inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Mission's Baseball Network. Well, Leo Dallas DeVries coming in as we're set to go for the bottom of the third for the Flying Chocolates here tonight. And the pitch, that one is chopped foul. The count now 0-1. Still a little ways to go in this broadcast. And here's the 0-1. Chopped foul again. Still hanging on 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And that got him in the butt. And DeVries will now take first base. Top of the San Antonio batting order. Here is left fielder Albert Fabian. He comes in with the runner at first. That is shortstop DeVries. And that is going to be right there. And he is out. And he is safe at first.
Now batting, number 58.
So that'll bring in the next batter up, catcher Francisco Acuna. Acuna coming in, fouls that one out of play. And the count now at 0-1. 1 for 1, a single last time up. Boy, should see a lot of hue coming off those clouds, especially with cloudy skies expected for the overnight. As we go to about the 9 or 10 o'clock hour, the clouds should evidently tense up and stuff.
Number 14, Joshua.
Well, the strikeout is Francisco Acuna. That'll bring up the next batter up, Joshua Mears. Mears coming in, ready to go. The windup and the pitch. That is right there. And out of play. The count now 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. And that's going to be lofted high in the air. And that is the count now at 0-2. Well, anyway, my friend Duncan is going to Virginia tomorrow. And he'll be gone for at least 2 weeks. So safe travels, my friend. All the way from Oklahoma. Man, you told me that you had a dream about being in Oklahoma last night? Yeah, it was a weird dream. I was near a gas station just outside of Fairview, Oklahoma, and it's the same spot where they filmed Twisters. That one's right there, high in the air, up to right field, and that will pretty much do it. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Trinkle, Schwartz, and Bolt will lead it off, and we'll be right back for the 4th inning. Top of the fourth inning set to go for Midland right now in the Missions Baseball Network. Well, this proud broadcast is brought to you in part by our friends there at West Creek Trail Rides, Whataburger, Henry's Puffy Tacos, and so much more. And even our San Antonio Stock Show Rodeo. Get your tickets now at SanAntonioStockShowRodeo.com and get ready for the first week of February 2026 as rodeo season begins. And yes, cowboys and everything else say yeehaw. Caden Trinkle coming in, hits that one out of play. The count now 0-2 as we are now entering the fourth inning for Midland right now here on tonight's gameplay. No balls, 2 strikes. Right there, high in the air, out of play, and the count now at 0-2. Now, the coolest thing about Twisters is they had the rodeo there in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Evidently, Stillwater was pretty much hit by a nighttime tornado. Evidently, Tyler and Kate both were there. And evidently, there was a massive F5 tornado that pretty much destroyed the big chunk of Stillwater. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. And there is out number 1.
Designated hitter, Nick Schwartz.
Well, that'll bring in Nick Schwartz. Schwartz coming in, ready to go. And the pitch is inside for a cold strike, and the count now at 0-1. So when you saw that scene the first time, didn't you feel like riding your horse? You know, Bob, you literally just read my mind right there. But yeah, I did think about that a lot of times, and I was like, man, I could literally ride my horse just thinking about this scene. Here's the 0-2. And that one popped out of play and foul. The count now 0-2. Still hanging on. But anyway, pretty good scene there in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Just a few hours from the next town over, which that is Sapulpa, Oklahoma. That is just south of Tulsa. Sapulpa was pretty much the town that Kate's mom had lived in. Farmland and, yeah, a lot of cows out there. Pretty nice place. I mean, evidently you go out to Oklahoma, which I've never been to Oklahoma, but I would certainly love to visit one day. Yeah, right there, strike 3 called, and that is out number 2. So tell me, what parts of Oklahoma would you love to go visit one day? Well, evidently, I know we've pretty much been to Tulsa way back then, but I would love to visit that gas station where they shot Twisters, and evidently, you know, you get like 3, like you go to Woodward, Enid, or wherever, but from that gas station, Enid, Oklahoma, is 30 miles from that rest stop.
1-1.
Oh, evidently, Enid is a big town. But evidently would love to go visit Twister Town, Wakita. And if you remember 1996, there was a tornado outbreak in Oklahoma where Wakita was devastated by a nighttime tornado. And, well, pretty much that's where Joe's aunt lived. Oh, yeah, I remember. She had a 2-story house. And, yeah, she had a lot of cow. Yeah, she did. Right there, the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. No wonder she had steak and eggs for every lunch period. You're not kidding, Bob. Well, right there in the count now, 1-2. But yes, we do also remember the life of the Texas native Bill Paxton, who was born in Fort Worth, Texas. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and we'll talk more about him when we come back. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on for Midland. We now head to the bottom of the fourth inning, and the Rockhounds lead it 4-0. So back here as Marcos Castañon comes in to lead off the bottom of four for San Antonio when we come back. Well, we're about set to go for the bottom of the fourth inning right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Marcos Castañon to lead it off. Welcome back as we get things riled up for the fourth inning. And the pitch swing and a miss right there. The count now at 0-1. Well, right there in the count now, 0-2. So far, pretty good ball game tonight. Midland having those 4 runs. 3 of those were a costly 4 on San Antonio's errors. And right there, that is strike 3 swinging.
Now batting.
And that is out number 1. Right fielder Jacob Campbell coming in. Set to go for San Antonio. And that's an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Already 45 pitches for Ryan Cusick here. As that is foul. The count now 0-2. Top of the 5th inning, straight ahead after this half inning concludes. And that is going to be right there, a slow roller. The third baseman tries to intercept, but there's a shortstop going to first. And he's got it for out number 2.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Cole Roederer.
Well, that'll bring up Cole Roederer as he stands in. Set to go here for the bottom of 4. Could be another 1-2-3 inning for San Antonio. Yeah, it might be, John, and evidently only 1 lone hit for San Antonio, and so far another out right there, and that will pretty much do. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio, and it's 5th inning coming up. Yep, Rockhounds up 4-0 here in this one. And Drew Swift, MacGyver, and Angeles coming to get things going. About set to go for the 5th inning here for the Rockhounds on the San Antonio Missions Baseball Network. Well, Drew Swift, 8-9-1 due up against Austin Kropp. Comes in and grounds balls right to Cedeno, right to first baseman Castellan. And that is a 1 quick out here in this half inning. You know, don't forget tomorrow night, Christmas in July. Gotta wish everybody a happy Christmas Eve. And you know, I guess wearing flying chanclas for a Christmas Eve morning, that'd be a pretty good thing. Yeah. You wished it was a morning. It's an evening, you donkey. Well, you're starting to sound like my friend from Oklahoma. Here's a 1-1. That one crushed deep to left field, and Midland's got another one. And make it a 5-0 ball game as they come in with Willie McIver. And so far, pretty good right there. As he gets around the bases to go home. And that right there is something that you don't see every day. But yeah, that was a pretty good hit for Midland. That one out of the ballpark. Next batter up is Irabel Angeles, the shortstop. 5-0 Midland, top of the 5th inning. And that is going to be a ball to count now 1-0. 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts as we go into this one. Don't forget, we'll have Christmas in August as well. And that's going to be line drive. That is a base hit. And not stopping, going for 3. And is in for a 1-out triple. And that will pretty much be Austin Kropp's night. Evidently, with him now being out of this ball game, I think the pitcher and the manager have seen enough of his stellar performance here this evening. So the manager not happy about what has transpired this evening, but evidently change needs to be made.
Number 45.
No pun intended, and I will say that for a point of experience. Austin Davis, the left-hander, coming up now for San Antonio. Davis now pitching for the Flying Chanclas. Colby Halter coming in, runner at third, 1 away here in this half inning, and that is going to be out of play, foul. And the count now 0-1. Boy, Tulsa comes in 3-0. And they probably already won that one. But evidently pretty good on that. Well, looks like Wichita and Frisco are getting a weather delay, it looks.
Ball.
They're the bottom half of the 5th inning. Wichita leading 3-0 against Frisco. Midland leading San Antonio 5-0, top of the 5th. Amarillo leading the 7th inning to a 4-3 against Corpus Christi. And that is going to get down for a base hit. And the 6th run in to score. RBI double by Halter.
Now batting.
And now Midland leads 6 runs ahead of San Antonio. All of them have been earned. Northwest Arkansas and Arkansas tied 2-2 there at All-American Ballpark there in the North Division. North Little Rock, Arkansas. Pretty good place. San Antonio's been there at least 6 times to take on the Arkansas Travelers. No balls and 1 striking. Yep, do believe we are going to head back there in 2026 as well. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. And the count now at 0-2. No balls to 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss right there. And that is a strikeout. Nankill is down for the outs.
The batter, the first baseman.
And there is 2 away.
Kurt.
First baseman Nick Kurtz coming in. We are pretty much going to see what happened up there in Wichita, and probably heavy rain and lightning and probably some hail and tornadic thunderstorms. But evidently, well, if you do have them type of storms, then yes, it is equivalent to a postponed game. Or even a rained out game, who knows. But right there, that is up to first baseman Castagnon. It's no errors. And at least 1 left. We head now to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Midland leading this one 6-0. Yendry Rojas will lead it for San Antonio. Cedeno and DeVries will follow in from behind. And we will be right back. Bottom half of the 5th inning set to go for San Antonio right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Yendry Rojas will lead it off in the bottom of 5 as we're starting to see a sunset that is making the clouds glow a beautiful orange just like the Rockhound jerseys. Right there to a ground ball to short to first base, and that is out number 1. Well, that'll bring in Nerwillian Cedeno as he comes in. 0 for 1 a line out here tonight. So far, a pretty good one. Amarillo leading Corpus Christi 4-3. Bottom of the 7th inning. It's bottom of the 8th. 2-2 score there against Northwest Arkansas and the Travelers. Wichita in a rain delay against the Frisco Rough Riders. 3-0, bottom of 5. Tulsa leading Springfield 3-0 in the top of the 9th inning. The Springfield Cardinals down to their final 3. Be the first teams in the Texas League that get done tonight. Yeah, I got to say, John, still plenty of ball game here in San Antonio. But still, we're doing pretty good. Yeah, we sure are, Bob. Leo Dallas DeVries coming in. 2 out, nobody on. That is a changeup outside. The count now 1 ball and no strikes. I guess it's safe to say that if it's even enough that Midland wins this one and try to win the next 2 after this game tonight, then it'll be a split half series. And right there, he gets plunked. Well, that will be a runner on, and that'll bring up left fielder for San Antonio, Albert Fabian. That one fouled off. The count now 0-1. Got a beautiful sunset here in San Antonio, and so far it is a pretty night for us here tonight. Evidently, that's going to be a liner, and that's going to get down for a hit. Well, second hit for San Antonio tonight, and so far trying to get in another one. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be lofted high in the air up the center, and that will do it. No runs, one hit, no errors, two left on for San Antonio. And we head to the sixth inning. Midland leads it 6-0. Trinkle, Schwartz, and Bolt will lead it off for the Midland Rockhounds for the sixth inning. And we'll be right back. About set to go for the top of the sixth inning right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Austin Davis is taking on 5'6'7", Caden Trinkle. Leading it off for the top of the sixth inning for Midland. And the pitch is inside for a strike. The count now 0-1. Here's the next pitch outside, ball one. And that'll even up at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that is fouled off. Count now at 1-2. 1-2. And that is out of play. So, yeah, pretty good night for baseball, right, Bob?
Yeah, John, it absolutely is.
You know, and that's going to be right there. And it looks like they're going to call a balk on him. And what is going on? Okay, so something bad went on, and I guess the catcher and pitcher were having a little thing going on. Evidently, Acuna was talking with Davis. Hopefully it was nothing too bad, but probably trying to get him to simmer down. That one's high fly in the air. Rojas has it. And that is out number 1.
Now batting, the center fielder.
And that'll bring up the center fielder, Henry Bolt. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, a run here tonight for Midland. Wind up in the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-1. No balls. And that's going to be right there. And that is a stolen base. And they got him. Boy, what a car crash right there. Oh, no. No, run into that one, will you? Yeah, right there. Ground ball hit to shortstop DeVries to Castañon. And that is the inning. You know, don't forget AAA is always the best insurance that you could call. And so far, pretty much on that. Well, we head to the bottom of the 6th. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for Midland. Joshua Mears, Castañon, and Campbell will lead it off for the San Antonio 6th inning. And we will be right back. About set to go for the bottom of the sixth inning for San Antonio right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Joshua Mears coming in as we're set to go for inning number 6 for San Antonio. And the windup and the pitch right there and in for a cold strike. And the count now at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch right there. That's ground ball straightaway third. He'll flip across the diamond to first, and they'll get the man out for 1 away.
The first baseman, number 6, Marcos Castanon.
Well, that'll bring up Marcos Castanon, who's 0 for 1 in a walk. Well, still no change there, but Tulsa has beat Springfield. Final score 3-0. Well, evidently, we do have 6 ball clubs that are continuing play. Midland and San Antonio, Amarillo, Corpus Christi, Northwest Arkansas, and the Travelers continuing to go here tonight. Line drive, that's a center field base knock. So 1-out single continues this half inning, and still San Antonio having a little bit of a difficulty trying to score in some runs. Boy, 4 errors, I would say. That is really bad right there. That one is right there, and that's a line drive base hit, and that's going to get down. Oh, boy, they're going to get something going. And that's going to be an RBI triple. And San Antonio says, no longer are we going to be shut out. It's now a 5-run ball game for Midland. Wow, pretty good one there for the San Antonio Missions. And, yeah, they get an RBI triple, but now the second run in the score for San Antonio, just 90 feet away. And Cole Roederer has that mission to bring them home. Yeah, that is for sure. That one popped foul. The count now 0-1 to the designated hitter, Roederer, who is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. Boy, it's so far going to be a pretty good ball game if they could get it going and get some runs in to score. That one high fly in the air. And no, he is not going to go for it. Wise choice right there to stay at third, and knowing that if you try to go and you get picked off, that's a inning double play right there. Yendry Rojas 0 for 2, 2 ground outs. Runner at third and 2 away. Midland leading 6-1, 5 runs ahead of San Antonio. And that's going to be right there. Line drive, center field base hit. Run number 2 for San Antonio is in to score. And that is now a 4-run lead for Midland. In now, Nerwillian Cedeno, the second baseman, coming in. And that's going to be lofted high in the air up to left field, and that will do it. Well, 2 runs in to score on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave. I think 1 left on base. 7th inning coming up. Midland leading 4 runs. It's 6-2. Drew Swift leading it off for the 7th inning for Midland when we come back. Seventh inning straight ahead for the Midland Rockhounds, right ahead on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Drew Swift coming in now. We lead off the seventh inning in a 6-2 ball game. Midland in front of 4 runs. And that's an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. So far, don't forget, download Atlas Earth there in Google Play or the App Store. And don't forget, you can get a lot of cool stuff. Even this app can pay out real money.
Willie McIver.
That'll bring in Willie McIver, 1-for-2 solo home run back in the 6th inning, I do believe. Nope, it would be the 5th inning. Oh, okay. Now here's the pitch, and that is going to be foul. And the count now, 0-1. You know, evidently pretty good as we go through a pretty good evening of baseball, and that's going to be an inside strike. The count now, 0-2 to count to Willie McIver. Then the pitch, cold third strike, got him. And that is out number 2. Well, that'll bring up Arabelle Angeles as he comes in, and he's set to go. Shortstop leading off for Midland here tonight. Swing and miss. Circle change gets him fooled for a strike, and the count now 0-1. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 7th inning.
Ball.
And that is down and inside for a ball. The count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-for-3 Angeles coming in. Activity in the bullpen as we have our relievers starting to come in for the Rockhounds. And the 1-2. And that is popped foul. The count now still hanging on 1-2 the count. The windup and the pitch. And that is foul. One ball, 2 strikes. Right there to Castagnon, who intercepts it. Well, time for 7th inning stretch here at the ballpark. Midland leading it by 4. It's 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th coming up next. And that'll bring in Leo Dallas DeVries, Fabian and Acuna to lead off the bottom of the 7th when we come back from our 7th inning stretch. Well, hope you've had a pretty good 7th inning stretch, but we are back to work in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here is John Baker. Thank you, Bob. Leo Dallas DeVries coming in after our 7th inning stretch. And so far, down and outside is 1 ball and no strikes. Underway of inning number 7. And that is lofted high in the air up to left field. Moving under it is the left fielder. And that is out number 1.
The left fielder, number 30, Albert.
Well, the time is called as the skipper comes to the mound. And so far, that's going to do for the starter here this evening. Well, pretty good night as he had, and so far that will pretty much do for him here this evening. Right-hander Tanner Dodson gets the ball, 4-seam slider, curveball, and a 2-seam fastball. Leading off the bottom half of the 7th inning with 1 away and nobody on. Leadoff batter Albert Fabian strides up next to greet the new right-hander. And that is a swing and a miss. The count now at 0-1.
No balls, 2 strikes.
That one was in for a strike. The count now 0-2. And yes, do apologize if I had to yawn a little bit. And right there, called third strike. Got Fabian down on a K.
Now batting, number 58.
So far, pretty good on that. And that's a slider, and the count now 0-1. Well, Jack Weisenberger and Ben Bowden getting ready to go here. So far, a pretty good one thus far, and that's going to be an inside strike. And the count now at 0-2. And that is lofted deep in the air, and that one's got enough. It is out of here. And Francisco Acuna puts one out of reach. And it's a 3-run ball game for the Rockhounds, but San Antonio still trails. And they still got enough fighting power in them, but still, this game is their final 9 outs. Well, the 347 over a 92.5 on the exit velocity, which that was pretty good right there. And so far, that'll put San Antonio up to their 3rd run in this broadcast, which that is pretty good. Now, indeed, center fielder Joshua Mears coming in as he is set to go. Man, Francisco Acuna, boy, that is the first time we see a catcher like him getting into this broadcast. And evidently he came in and he put that one right out of reach, and so far, well, that will pretty much do it. Well, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio. We head to the 8th inning. Midland leading this one 6-3. Colby Halter will stride up next for Midland, as that'll bring in Halter, Nankiel, and Kurtz to lead it off for the next half inning. So we'll be right back after a commercial message as we start the top of the 8th inning for Midland. Top of the 8th inning for Midland right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, we welcome you back to this broadcast. Top of the 8th inning set to go. And here is the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a slow roller. In front of Cedeno. Pass to first baseman Castañon. And that's out, number 1. That'll bring up the right fielder, Nate Nankiel. 0 for 2, sacrifice RBI here this evening. So far, pretty good. Well, manager's coming out of the bullpen, and that will pretty much do. And so far, that will do for the first reliever of tonight. Austin Davis out of this one.
Number 60.
That'll bring up a left-hander, Omar Cruz, getting the ball from the manager. The 4-seam curveball changeup. And a 2-seam fastball on top of that. You'll greet up firsthand Nate Nankiel, the right fielder, as he pops that one out of play foul. The count now at 0-1. Rockhounds 6-3 against San Antonio. Which that is pretty good. That one right there. That's a bouncy ball right there in front of Rojas. The first to Castañon. Easy play. And they're 2 down.
The first baseman, Nick.
Rockhounds down to their final 4 outs of this nighttime ball game on this Christmas Eve evening. Can't even talk this evening, but evidently we'll try that again. 3,155 in tonight's attendance. Well, so far it is Christmas Eve evening here. And that's going to be right there. Cedeno gets it right to first base, Castañon, and that will end the inning. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for Midland. 8th inning coming up for San Antonio, and it's a 6-3 Rockhounds lead. We get set to go for the bottom half of inning number 8 when we come back. Well, we get ready to go to the bottom half of the 8th inning right now in the Missions Baseball Network. Well, evidently we got a final score there in Wichita, and yeah, they only played through 5 innings, and so far Wichita 3-0. They will claim that game there. And yeah, so far I do believe that they have won that one. And so far, I guess it is what it is. So completed early because of the rain through 5 innings. Wichita now getting do believe their 50th win. And so far, that would put the Frisco Rough Riders to a 46 loss. Well, evidently not too good right there. But anyway, look at Springfield getting beat by Tulsa. Tulsa will claim their 39th. And another night of being not a 60-win team right there. But anyway, I guess it is what it is. Well, still got 6 ball clubs that are going still, and we're leading off the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Midland.
Stevie Emmanuel's getting the call for Midland
Emmanuel.
as we're getting set to do the bottom half of the 8th inning here tonight. And here is Marcos Castañon as he leads it off for San Antonio here in the 8th. Well, evidently 3-0 Wichita as they beat the Frisco Rough Riders through 5. And Tulsa getting the final score 3-0 against Springfield. Pretty good ball game, if I say so, but evidently it was a pretty good one. That one fouled off. The count now 0-2. So if you download Atlas Earth, it's a pretty good ball. It's not a ball game, I should say, but it's a pretty good realtor type app that you can pretty much go through, purchase par sales, and Atlas bucks. It's a pretty good one thus far, and I have been playing it for at least a couple of months already. Pretty much $1.20 on the reservoir. Right fielder Jacob Campbell coming in is a 1-for-3. Top of the 9th inning, straight ahead after this half inning, and so far it'd be pretty good. Right there to center, and that is out number 2.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Cole.
That'll bring in the designated hitter, Cole Roederer, who's 0-for-3, strikeout, fly out, and the ground out of this ball game. And that is right there. Straightaways to second to first, and they get them in time, and that ends the inning. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio. Top of the 9th inning, straight ahead, and it's 6-3 Midland. Trinkle, Schwartz, and Bolt will lead it off as we get things going for the 9th inning. Top of the ninth inning for Midland right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, Caden Trinkle coming in, 5'6", due up against the reliever Omar Cruz. As we are set to go here in this one, and that's an inside strike. And the count now 0-1. Midland has a 3-run advantage against San Antonio, and boy, they've been coming in early on as San Antonio had 4 costly errors. Evidently pretty bad for them to come in this one. Right there, the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Called third strike, got him. And that is out number 1.
The batter, number 6, designated hitter.
And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Nick Schwartz. And the pitch is right there and in for a strike. And the count now at 0-1. Boy, got a Rockhounds pitcher by the name Dallas. But he's all the way from Dallas, Texas, home of the Texas Rangers organization. Now, evidently, we'll look at the final score of the San Diego Padres taking on St. Louis here today. And that's going to be right there. Cast a first down and out by Castañon. So the Cardinals winning 3-0 against San Diego today. They will win their 54th against the Padres, which that's pretty good. Henry Bolt's coming in and hits that one out of play. And the count now at 0-1. Well, we'll give you the major leagues. Evidently, we'll talk about it.
Ball.
1 ball and 1 strike.
1-1.
National team in the East, the Mets and Phillies are tied 59-44. Miami Marlins at 49, Atlanta Braves at 44, the Washington Nationals at 41. The Brewers lead the Cubs by 1.5 games ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers. Here's a 2-1, and that one out of play. The count now 2-2. Cincinnati Reds and St. Louis Cardinals are tied 54. Pirates down in last place in the National League Central. Dodgers, big lead against San Diego. San Francisco Giants at 54. Arizona Diamondbacks at 51. And boy, look at the Colorado Rockies. Down 27-76. Not a good year for the Rockies. Here's the 3-2. And that is out of play and foul. And the count now at a full count. Here's a 3-2. And that is foul. And the count now, boy, still hanging on. Tell you one thing, when you're down 27-76, that's not a good standing right there. No, John, it's not. That one high fly in the air up to left field, and that is out number 3. Well, 3 more outs for San Antonio. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Midland still in charge at this one, 6-3. Rojas, Adeno, and DeVries will get things going for the bottom of 9, and we'll have a new reliever for Midland straight ahead. About set to go for the bottom of the ninth inning right now on the Missions Baseball Network.
Now pitching for Midland.
Well, a right-hander, Pedro Santos, getting the closing door assignment.
Santos.
Four-seam cutter, 12-6 curve, circle change, and a sinker. Coming in for Midland is Santos.
Leading off.
Yendry Rojas coming in 1 for 3, RBI single in the sixth. So far, the Rockhounds have a 3-run lead in their favor. And the pitch. That one is a pop-up high in the air up to center field. And that is out number 1.
Now batting, second baseman, Nerwillian.
Second baseman, Nerwillian Cedeno coming in. He's 0 for 3. Strikeout, flyout, and lineout.
No, that missed.
And that misses outside for the ball. The count now at 1-0. Don't forget, we are live back tomorrow evening at 7:05 as we have Christmas in July. Don't forget, we'll have Christmas in August as we take on our 6-game set against the visiting Springfield Cardinals. And that's going to be lofted high in the air, and that's going to get down a base hit. So pretty good to get something going. And that's going to bring in the shortstop, Leo Dallas DeVries. And that's going to be right there to second for 1. And they relay it, and that is the ball game. Well, Midland finally gets a run. But a 3-run shot will put them right there. And that will do it for this evening's game. Midland winning the 48th, and yeah, so far they would need to win a lot. San Antonio would need to lose a lot, but evidently still going in that one. Well, Amarillo beats Corpus Christi. They will be 44-49. Corpus Christi now 35-59. So they will finish that one. Arkansas beating the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Still trailing in behind the Wichita Wind Surge. And so far, that means everybody has played baseball tonight. And so far, the last 2 games against Midland starting tomorrow and going into Sunday. Well, go ahead, give your final runs, hits, and errors. First for the victorious Midland Rockhounds. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors. For San Antonio, 3 runs, 7 hits, 4 errors. Colby Halter is the player of the game, 2 for 4. He had 2 doubles and RBI. The winner on the mound is Ryan Cusick as he takes game 4. Austin Kropp is the losing pitcher for San Antonio this evening. And so far, that will pretty much do for a Friday evening. Well, anyway, hope y'all had a pretty good night thus far. And don't forget, we are celebrating Christmas in July as we have Game 5 of our 6-game set. Well, anyway, hope to see y'all back tomorrow evening. And final score, Midland 6-3 against San Antonio. And so far, this will pretty much conclude our broadcast of the night. Well, hope y'all have a good night, drive home safely, and see you again tomorrow.